Hey all, good morning and welcome to ShareTrack. This is Raj here. It was a good day at the stock market yesterday, contrary to pre-market actions. Most of the stocks were in the green, but post-market actions ended up being bearish. Let's check out what is happening. Welcome back, friends. Shares of Alphabet dropped 6% pre-market after having missed expectations on the top and bottom lines yesterday. Alphabet also reported a decline in YouTube ad, which in turn seems to have depressed the sentiment for other tech stocks that rely on ad spending. While Alphabet did well on cloud, that was a weak point for Microsoft, who met expectations but fell 6% on account of weaker cloud revenue and weaker outlook. As I started recording, all three indices were negative. Today we have the new home sales data release, and it's expected to show a decline. Also on the tabs is a 75 basis point hike in interest rate by the European Central Bank this Thursday. It's widely believed that in the current environment, raising rates will push EU into recession, but there is no other step they could potentially take other than raising the interest rate to rein in the inflation. It seems like negative catalyst dosing daily this week, and keeping on pushing down the sentiment on a regular basis. So we'll have to see how this week turns out. At this stage, I think the bad news is acceleration to market bottom so that we can have some seller capitulation and bounce back. Hopefully that happens around midterm election completion, and we get a Santa Claus rally. But right now, friends, I'm absolutely confused of what's going to happen for the rest of the year. It's all over the place. So I'm not going to take a stab at it. That said, let's check out the pre-market action today and see what's happening and where the market is likely to go. Well, friends, here we are in the TradingView platform. I'm looking at the Nasdaq futures, and as you can see, our bull channel out here is definitely starting to work, and we have three touch points here actually, and we can see that today's candle has been formed along the same line. So we can reasonably expect that today we'll have support from the 10-day simple moving average, which is this thick yellow line out here, which is sitting at 11,246.83, failing which we could also have our support here at around 11,239.75, which is this diagonal line of support which creates the bear rally channel or a bull channel within the overall bear context. I'm just going to zoom out a little bit so you can see the channel out here. So this is the long-term bear channel in which we are traveling, and earlier we were falling down rapidly, as you can see, based on this diagonal green line, which was the support for the earlier bear channel. And since then we have moderated, and we have a slightly less steep bear channel, and we are on a bear market rally, because once we touch this diagonal red line, I'm pretty sure that we are going to drop back again, and we'll have to get this to flatten out, this slope for the bear channel to flatten out and then go upwards. So by looking at this chart, I think somewhere around the 14th of March or something, or maybe around 4th of April, we might probably see a turnaround and break out from this diagonal line of resistance. But we'll have to see what happens between now and then. But that's my gut feel, in case you're curious what I think about it. And let's look at the indicators. US oil is up 0.62, 0.67%. So that's a bad sign for shares, because oil price going up again pushes inflation, flows through inflation everywhere. And that's bad for the stocks, because the Fed will raise the interest rates, etc., etc. We know the drill. And we are on a bull channel out here for the oil prices. And if we look at our MACD, it's just at 50%, and sorry, MACD is just about on top of the signal line, and momentum is just at 50%. And if you look at QQQ, we can see that QQQ is down 1.50% pre-market. Yesterday it was up 2.07%. I'm just going to expand the screen. Each of these candles are one-day candles, and we had a resistance yesterday of 278.43. We very easily flew past it, so it has now become a support for us. And today we are just above this support, and our next resistance is going to be at 282.10. So that's going to be our resistance for today. and our support for today is going to be 278.43, failing which we have support at 273.52. MACD is bullish and above the signal line, and momentum is also above 50%, but pre-market action shows negative. This is all the result of Google and Microsoft results, and we'll have to see how the market goes forward. Pre-market action seems to indicate a bearish approach. S&P 500 was up 1.60% yesterday, and in the process it went on to make 381.55, which was a resistance, into a support. Now our next resistance is going to be the 50-day simple moving average, which is this thick orange line, which is sitting at 386.02, and subsequently we have another resistance, which is the 100-day simple moving average, which is this thick blue line out here, which is sitting at 390.27. MACD is bullish, momentum is also above average, and still pointed upwards. So S&P 500 looks healthy as of yesterday, but today I suspect that it's going to turn around a little bit and become bearish. Russell Industrial Average was up at 2.73 and 2.73%, and there is no trades pre-market at this point of time. And we have this candle from yesterday, which is nicely blocked by the 50-day and the 100-day simple moving averages, which is this thick orange line and the thick blue line respectively. They will continue to be our resistance for today, and our support for today is going to be this minor line of support, which I'm going to expand outwards and mark this as green. This is going to be a initial line of support. The next line of support is going to be 172.14, and the resistance apart from these two simple moving averages is going to be at 183.72. And if we look at Dow Jones Industrial Average, it was at 1.09% gain yesterday, easily surpassing the resistance, which was at 316.20. So we're going to mark this as a support. And we have our next resistance. I'm going to just draw a minor line of resistance out here, which is most probably somewhere in this region. So it's going to be a minor resistance somewhere around 319.98. After which I think this 200-day simple moving average, which is this thick white line sitting at 327.16, will be the next resistance. Our VIX for today is down 0.07%, which is positive for the indices, but we have support for it at the 50-day simple moving average, which is this thick orange line out here, and that's sitting at 27.68, whereas our resistance is going to be this diagonal line of resistance, which was earlier a diagonal line of support for the bull channel before for the VIX. So whenever VIX goes up, indices go down, and therefore today VIX is trying to go up, which means VIX is indicating a bearish turn for us. And if you look at the US dollar index, the US dollar index steadily continues to come down, and as long as the US dollar keeps coming down, it's going to be good for the stock market, because the money is moving out from the US dollar index and into various asset classes, of which the stocks are one of the asset classes, gold is another, Bitcoin is another. So all the other asset classes are going to get the fund flow out of US dollar index. And this is also good for the recession protection as far as US is concerned. It may not be as good for inflation for United States, but because the imports will become more expensive, but it's good for all the exporters, because now their products will become cheaper in US dollars when compared to countries which are importing with non-US dollars. So that's the thing I would say. This is again a positive indication for the market. And if you look at the index movers, Microsoft is down 6.30% after taking a beating from its earnings yesterday. As you can see, the earnings estimate was above expectations, but their cloud revenue suffered, and also their outlook did not meet the market expectation, and that's the reason why, looking forward, there is a bearish trend out here. We had support at 249.86. Sorry, we had resistance at 249.86 yesterday, and that resistance continues to be, because after crossing it over with and closing Friday at 250.66, post market we already fallen down to 234.88. So I'm going to leave this unchanged, and we are going to have a resistance today at 249.86, and our support, which was at 245.15, is also now a resistance for us. So for today, I would say that our resistance is going to be 245.15. Right now we are at 243.98, down 6.25% from what the status was on at market close yesterday. And then our support is going to be at 238.81. So that's where we are at, my friends. And I think Microsoft is definitely dragging down the indices today. And if you look at Apple, Apple was down 0.75% pre-market after being up 1.93% yesterday. And Apple has got its earnings coming up on the 27th of October, and we have a earnings expectation of $1.269 per share and a revenue estimate of 88.749 billion. And given that iPhone production has been cut, that's the news we have. There is a bit of trepidation in the market that Apple may probably talk about a not so good outlook. And similar to Microsoft, even if it had exceeded expectations on earnings, the weaker outlook is likely to push the share prices down. So I'm going to watch this very carefully because I'm betting on FNGU, which is the ETF that tracks FANG stocks. And with the fall of Microsoft and Google, it's already going to be down today. And if Apple also falls further, we'll have a very good price point at which I could buy FNGU and look for a swing trade out there. Right now, the MACD is bullish and the momentum is above average, but pre-market we are already down 0.80. I suspect that even though everything looks good here, Apple is likely to pull down the indices today. Amazon was up 0.65% yesterday, but today it's down 3.67%. And as you can see here, we have the earnings coming up on 27th of September with the EPS 21 cents per share, and revenue estimated at 127.387 billion. So again, out here, Amazon has got clouds earnings, and if Google has done very well with cloud and Microsoft didn't do well, the question remains whether all the gains that Google has had in its cloud revenue has been at the expense of Microsoft, or has Amazon also lost a bit on cloud. So that's the cloud that's hanging on top of Amazon today. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But right now, Amazon seems to be inclined to pull the indices down. Google is already down 6.22% after its earning, and our support is going to be at 95.74. And we have resistance at the 10-day simple moving average, which is at 100.76, which was earlier converted into a support when we were moving upwards, but we have broken down through all of those supports. So I marked them all red. And that said, I think overall, it seems the indices are going to pull down the stock markets. When you look at Genomics, I'm just going to quickly sort out the index out here. And the biggest winner yesterday was DNA. And friends, I had mentioned that if DNA reaches close to 2.33, I would buy. But unfortunately, I didn't get the opportunity to do that. And whoever must have bought there really made a good profit. And I would have planned to sell it somewhere before 2.68, and I would have already sold that. But today, pre-market, we are already below 2.68, and we are likely to swing back down towards the support out here at 2.33, at which point I hope that I'm able to find the time and money to buy it. Right now, MACD is bearish and tending towards the signal line. Momentum is below average and going towards 50%. But pre-market, we are already down 4.35%. So we continue to have resistance at 2.68, and we continue to have a support at 2.33. So swing trade possibility out here, buying closer to 2.33 and selling closer to 2.68. Invite was up 10.14% yesterday, and it has broken above this line of resistance at 2.15, and I'm going to mark that into a support. Today, pre-market, we are at 2.24. We are still above it, and our resistance is going to be 2.56, and our support for today is going to be 2.15, which is going to be pretty strong because we have the 10-day simple moving average, which is this thick yellow line, coming in close proximity at 2.17. So, friends, that's what is going to be the action with Invite. If it did drop below and go anywhere closer to 1.86, I'm willing to buy. The other day, I had someone on Twitter asking if Invite would fall to below $2, and I said, yeah, it's going to fall below $2, and there's a good chance to buy it. So I would again repeat that Invite would be a good buy somewhere closer to 1.86, maybe at 1.90 range, and then sell it somewhere closer to or 2.15 range. PSEB was up 9.44% yesterday. Again, this morning it's up 1.94, and we continue to have support from 200-day simple moving average. PSEB is becoming stronger. There is some news around there, my friends. PSEB has come up with a new product in collaboration with another company. I'm going to make a separate video on that, so I don't want to steal the thunder for that video, but please watch out for the PSEB video shortly this week. Next, let's go on to Teledoc. Teledoc was up 8.61% yesterday, and today pre-market it's down 1.42%. Our minor line of resistance, which was at around 25.77, has now become a minor line of support because pre-market we are at 26.34, we are down 1.42%. After this support, we have the 10-day simple moving average, which is this thick yellow line, sitting at 24.64 as the next support. MACD is bullish and momentum is just above 50%, but I think that pre-market action indicates that we're going to be pushing down from that 50%. Beam Therapeutics is up 7.32% as of yesterday. Pre-market, there are no trades, and we continue to have a support at 4.34, and the first line of support is at the 10-day simple moving average, which is the thick yellow line, sitting at 46.29. Right now we're at 46.74. Our next resistance is the simple moving averages of 50-day and the 100 days, sitting at 51.97 and 51.64 respectively. Bluebird Therapeutics was up, Bluebird Bio was up 6.93% yesterday, and today pre-market it's up 0.63%. Still tracking along this bull channel that we have drawn out here, and its resistance is the 50-day and the 10-day simple moving average, sitting at 6.36 and 6.33 respectively. And our MACD is bearish, tending towards the signal line. Momentum is also below average at this point of time, below 50, and we want it to go above 50 to be reliable indicator of a green move. ARCG was up 5.39% yesterday, no trades pre-market. Intelia was up 5.24% yesterday, no trades pre-market. IMTX was up 4.88% yesterday, no trades pre-market. Illumina was up 4.33% yesterday, no trades pre-market. CRISPR Therapeutics was up 4.07%. Friends, I had mentioned that we might bounce back from here for CRISPR Therapeutics, and that's exactly what happened. And we have converted our support of 52.13 into a resistance of 52.13 into a support. And our next resistance is going to be the 10-day simple moving average, which is this thick yellow line sitting at 54.29, following which we have resistance at 54.47. Right now, there are no trades pre-market, but CRISPR bounced up from the 30% mark, and it did try to touch that 26.95 as it had done in the past. So I'm hopeful that this is a positive move for CRISPR and will challenge the resistances instead of testing the supports today. Verve Therapeutics was up 3.54% yesterday, no trades pre-market, and we have resistance at 33.69, which has been converted into a support yesterday. So I'm going to mark that as a support. That is going to act as a support for us today, and we are going to have resistance from the 50-day simple moving average, which is sitting at 35.62. That is the thick orange line. Caribou Biosciences was up 3.28% yesterday, and I'm quite positive on Caribou Biosciences because of their antler trial. I had made a video on that. Please check out the video if you haven't. The trial results, in my opinion, are very encouraging, and very soon we are going to get some data on that, which I'm expecting to be positive. So I would say that Caribou Biosciences is going to be moving up today with a support of 9.37, and it's going to challenge the resistance at 10.04. MACD is tending towards the signal line, ready to cross over. Momentum is also ready to cross over the 50%. IDNA was up 2.89% yesterday, no trades pre-market. SQZ Biotech was up 2.54% yesterday, and it has been pushed down by all the moving averages, and we continue to have a lot of support at the bottom. So I think SQZ Biotech can fall further today. The MACD is just at 50%, and momentum is the MACD is bearish and momentum is just at 50%. And if you look at Editas, it was up 2.28% yesterday, no trades pre-market. We are still being pushed down by the 10-day simple moving average sitting at 11.74, which is the thick yellow line. And if you look at Allogene was up 0.41%, and there are no trades pre-market. Allogene is getting pushed down by 9.93, which was earlier a support, and it's now a resistance for us today. And we'll have to see if we can break through above this. And we have some kind of a minor line of support out here, which we have held above. So I'm hoping that this minor line of support, which is somewhere around 9.69, 9.70, will continue to hold for us. So we'll be bouncing between these two ranges today. That's my expectation for Allogene. Well, that, my friends, brings me to the end of this video. If you like this video, please do not hesitate to press a like out there because it helps the channel. And if you are not yet subscribed, I believe all the stars and planets are aligned. Everything is perfect. This is the right time to press the subscribe button and also press the notify button so that you can get all the new videos from this channel as soon as it's published. Thanks and have a great day. Bye for now.